another week of Wine and Story Time with another story by your host, Kiana J. Woo-hoo. So, let me introduce y'all to my co-host. We have, as y'all know, Stephen Curry. Hey, boo-boo. Stephen's been with me the longest. And we have the big man over here, Jeezy. Hey, baby. So, this story time is about how my house got raided. And I was able to sue the police because of it. Coin! But first, before we get into that, let's get some celebrity or some news out here. So, this past week, we did have Hurricane Milton out here threatening to kill everybody in Florida or Tampa. And so it had everybody outside of Florida, the people that don't go through hurricanes, scared out of their mind, because you had the mayor on TV talking about if you didn't leave, you was gonna die. They were telling people to write their names on their arms and emergency contacts on their arms. And they also was telling people, you know, you have to leave. It was going to be 15 feet of waves coming through to wash everything out. And then you had the weatherman on there crying, talking about he ain't never going to see anything like this ever in life. So we all got together on TikTok and did a prayer circle. Everybody was praying. I was crying because I was scared because so many people that were scared. Everybody was scared. And I think the hurricane dropped from a 5 to a 2 because of the prayer. Now, the Florida people was like, we told y'all, like, this always happens, you know, because, you know, they be having hurricane parties down there. So, Milton did do a little damage, but not the damage of what they said it was going to do. Thank you, Lord. Thank you, Jesus. Thank you, God. Now, Diddy news, he's still in jail. From what I hear, he's planning on snitching. But that ain't my business, and you ain't heard that from me. I ain't the one to gossip, okay? But yeah. Ari and Tucson still fighting over that car and that money. And Ari said that the reason why the money had stopped, she had sent the money to the dealership, but Tucson tried to do some scamming shit and keep the money in his pocket. Ari, yeah. That's what she said. And she released the video with them on the phone with the salesperson. So everybody's believing Ari. Now, I don't know if y'all know, but over there on Tiki Taki, there's a cat named Max over there. And Max has a body cam on. And they let Max loose. His parents let him loose out into the streets. And Max is out there deboing and beating up all the cats he can see. He pulling up at houses and everything. He fucking them cats up, and them cats be scared. They be scared when Max come too. They be so scared. They be crying and they be, Max be fucking them up. Whoever Max's parents is, y'all dead ass wrong. Couldn't be my cat. Couldn't be my motherfucking cat. Cause my cat gonna be just like your mom, crazy as hell. You ain't gonna whoop my ass. And you damn sure ain't gonna whoop my cat ass. So whoever parents Max, whoever Max belongs to, get your motherfucking cat. Okay? Get your motherfucking cat. Because he gonna run up on the wrong cat out here trying to be Debo. Debo got put down too, just like Max gonna get put down. Get your goddamn cat out here being a menace and a terrorist. Out here making these cats run for their lives. The fact that he pulled up at somebody's house, cat resting at his own house, and Max came up in that bitch. Terrorist. 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 So as we know, Beyonce is losing followers because I guess that Diddy stuff. I guess she has said she ain't seen nothing wrong. Why they mad at him? I don't know. I'm technically not a Beyonce fan. She got free songs, I know, but I just want to tell y'all. Okay, so that's the end of your nosy neighbor giving y'all the news. And remember, I ain't the one to gossip, so you ain't heard it from me. Okay, that's between us. Now let's get to the story. Don't mind me. I look extra big in this house coat, but it's comfy. Okay, I'm giving me a breast reduction because this is what makes me look huge. Yeah. Okay. So the story is how my house got raided, and I was able to sue the police because of it. So I lived down. This was when I was living in Illinois, a little place outside of Chicago, apartments. It was low income. Okay, I lived there with my boyfriend, my baby daddy at the time, and my 3 children. Okay, so my home, we call it the hood because that's where a lot of people that from Chicago, when you get low income, you go live. Let me tell you how low income works. Okay. If you don't have a job, you pay 0 rent, okay? If you don't have a job, they pay your light bill. The only bill you have is your light bill. All other bills that you have, you accumulate yourself, which is cable and cell phone. So low incomes cover all expenses paid by the government if you're not working. If you are working, you pay 30% of your income. So you don't pay full market rent. It's whatever you bring in after taxes. Whatever you bring in after taxes, you pay 30% of that in rent for the month. So, which is also another term for it is subsidizing housing. Okay. I lived in low income housing for 7 years. But I lived in this particular subsidized housing for 6 years. It's right outside of Chicago. Okay. So, my home, I'm a guy's girl. Okay. All the guys hung out at my home. All the drug dealers hung out at my home. My home had the studio in it. So happened all the drug dealers wanted to be rappers, right? So my home, they built the studio there, okay? Now, there was no proof that drugs was being sold out of my home. Just, my home was just full of dudes, okay? The reason of this being because my baby daddy at the time, his cousins, lived down there too. So that's how my home became like that, okay? Now, again, there was no proof drugs being sold out of my home. Now, cigarettes and blunts was being sold out of the home because that's what I had to make a little extra money. I worked, but I was selling like loose squares, cigarettes, aka squares, loose squares, and blunts for people to smoke their little weed and stuff in the studios. There, so my house, traffic was coming in and out of it. Okay, I was living in the basement apartment at this time. Again, there's no proof no drugs was being sold out of my home. Just disclaimer, but I'm sticking to it. Okay, so one night, we used to have. Okay, let's go back. We used to have this police officer down there that used to mess with us a lot. We knew him by his name. We knew him by his name. So he used to always pull us over, like always pull us over. Which he had the right to because now one of us had a license, me or my baby daddy. or whoever else, like the guys down that day, didn't have licenses. We'd just be driving. And he knew this. So whenever he seen us, he'd pull us over. So we used to have to, like, sneak out the back way of the apartment complex instead of going out the front, because most likely he would be sitting in the front. Whatever. So, okay, so remember I said the police officer, right? I'm not going to say no names because I don't need to be sued, right? Okay. So, at this point in time, me and my baby daddy is fighting. Because, of course, he was cheating on me. So, he decided to go stay the night at his little side chick house, right? And he took everything that belonged to him with him, okay? My god brother had came to the house to stay the weekend. You know, he comes out there to take care of some business himself. You know, because again, my house is the guy's house, so he would come out there and handle some business again. Ain't no proof drugs was being sold out of my home. So at this time, my god brother was at my house staying. I was asleep, and I had a dream that my door got kicked in by the police. So I woke up. It was like 5 something in the morning. It was almost day, but it wasn't day. It was like that dusky. And so I got up and I looked out my door had a window. And it had blinds on, so I got up and I looked out the blinds. My brother was on the couch asleep. My god brother was on the couch asleep. And my kids was in their room. It was quiet. Everybody was asleep. And I looked out the window. I ain't see nothing. So I went back to sleep. I don't think it was 30 to 45 minutes before my door got kicked in by that police officer and a bunch of people in sniper uniforms, like black SWAT uniforms, screaming to the top of their lungs with guns blazing. Like, get out. How can we get out? We in the bed. So they come in my room. Again, my baby dad's not there. He's missing all this because he's laid up with another chick. So I jump up and look, and I throw my hands up like this because they got the guns on me, right? And I could tell who the police officer, even though he had a mask on, I could tell because I seen him so much who he was. And I called out his name, and he was like, yeah, it's me. And so he was like, get up. Now, this is why I don't sleep naked. But sometimes I do sleep naked when I get out the shower. But this is why I don't sleep naked. Because good thing I had on some freaking clothes, right? So he gets me up. The kids in their room, he don't bring them out. He gets me up, and then he walked me into the living room. My brother's and I'm on the one couch, and my brother's on the other couch by the door. When they kicked the door in, the door head fell on him because they kicked it off the hinges. And his head was facing toward the door when he was laying on the couch. And he was like, the door head hit him in the head or whatever when they kicked it in. So he's sitting on the couch with his head down, just shaking it like that. And they got him in handcuffs. They got me in handcuffs, right? So they proceed to search the house. Mind you, nobody shows me a search warrant, right? They proceed to search the house, right? They just tear my poor little apartment up. You hear me? Just tearing it up. Now, again, there's no proof drugs were sold out of my house. So, they were just tearing it up. Now, as they tearing up this house, I had to think. I was like, did nobody show me any paperwork? You know what I'm saying? Like, nobody showed me any paperwork, right? So I'm screaming, I need to see a warrant. Now, I know this because my dad used to be a big drug dealer back in Milwaukee in the 90s, right? This is when I first started living with him, and that's the story that's going to come later on how I ended up living with my father. But he was a big drug dealer in the 90s, so I understood some of the lies, especially after the first time he went to jail. I know when they kick in your door, they supposed to show you a search warrant. So I'm screaming, I was like, I don't see a warrant. I don't see the search warrant. I don't see the search warrant. Show me the search warrant. Show me the search warrant. They continue. Now, let's pause here. Once I said, show me the search warrant, they were supposed to show me the search warrant. Okay? So he brings the search warrant and he drops it on the table. Mind you, I'm still in handcuffs. And I look over, I'm able to see, I have 20/20 vision, so I can see back then I had 20/20 vision. I'm old now. I look over at the search warrant, and it say 26 Oxford, apartment 3. I look at it again to make sure before I get the, cutting up. 26 Oxford, apartment 3. The kicker is my apartment is 4. So I scream out, y'all in the wrong house. Y'all in the wrong apartment. Y'all in the wrong apartment. Now, they were supposed to stop search when I yelled, y'all in the wrong apartment. Hold that thought. Next door, the apartment that was on the search warrant, it was my baby daddy's cousin. He was dating my neighbor. So he was living next door. Okay. Back to my house, right? So they're still searching. They're supposed to stop search at that moment. Okay? Laws. Know your shit. Know your shit. Because this is how they was able to be sued. They were supposed to stop search and they didn't. They kept searching my home, tearing it up and everything. They kept tearing it up, turning over cereals and everything. And I was like, screaming, y'all in the wrong house, y'all in the wrong house. By the time they finished searching the house, it was total pieces. He picks up the warrant and he looks at it. After I screamed for like 15 minutes, y'all in the wrong house. He picks up the search warrant and looked at it. And he calls his sergeant. Imagine me and my god brother still in handcuffs and the kids still in the room. It's got to be about 6:30-ish, 7 o'clock. Because school buses were starting to come. He calls the sergeant. Now at this point, the sergeant comes. He tells him to handcuff us. We get our handcuffed. Now, they go knock. They didn't kick their door in, apartment 3. They knock on their door. Mind you, the walls ain't that thick, so they hearing what's going on. So they heard the police kicking my door. And after the fact, she ended up saying, like, we heard them. So we woke up. It was like, dang, they raiding Kiana and them next door. So if they had, I'm not saying they had anything, but if they had anything, they had the ample opportunity to get rid of it, right? Nothing was found in my home. Again, there was no proof that drugs was being sold out of my home. So they knock on their door. They give them a little sweep search. Not the way they tore up my house. They give them a little sweep search, right? and they come out. I didn't get no apology. I didn't get nothing. They didn't put my door back up. Nothing. Now, if they would have found drugs in my home, I would have been evicted. They'd have put me out because you can't do stuff like that in subsidized housing. But because they didn't find anything in my home, I was not evicted. You know, they had to come fix, the apartments had to come fix my door and stuff like that. So, I kept my kids home from school because that shit was traumatizing as a bitch. It was very traumatizing because I didn't sleep for days after that. Like, I didn't sleep for a while after that. Like, you know, I kept jumping up every time I heard something. So, I know it was traumatizing for them. So, I ended up I had to clean that mess up they made. I had to clean all that mess up they made. I had to go grocery shopping and everything. All that stuff. So, I was like, they searched my home, didn't find nothing, and they still searched my home after when I told them that they was in the wrong apartment. So I said, oh, hell no. Hell to the fuck no. Do they know who the fuck I am? That's what I was saying. Like, do they know who the fuck I am? They ain't finna get away with this. So I ended up inquiring a lawyer downtown Chicago. And I told them what happened, and they was like, you have a case. I ended up suing the police department for raiding my home. After the fact of them knowing that they was in the wrong house. So basically what happened was I got a little coin. I did. I got a little coin. I got a coin because I remember I bought me a new Navigator. I got a little coin because they was trying to be greedy and they was trying to be they was trying to be smart. Like, I didn't know the law. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not no lawyer or nothing. But I know a little something. Because, again, like I said, my daddy used to deal in the drug business. So, I know a little something. Like, about, and plus, I'm street smarts. Again, I used to be a gang member. So, but that's a whole nother story. Again, y'all got to stay tuned for these stories. So I ended up suing, got a lawyer, and we got a little coin for them not stopping search. By them not stopping search, after I said that first time that y'all was in the wrong apartment, cost them a coin. Cost them a coin. That's why I say, know y'all laws, because these police will take advantage of you. These police will take advantage of you. They will do you dirty and expect you not to say something. And that's it. That is the story of how my house got raided and I got a coin because of it. Stay tuned for that. Come back for next week's story. Wine and story time. How I joined the gang. Yeah. We're gonna talk about how I joined. We're gonna talk about why I joined the gang. That's a whole nother story. But I'm gonna tell you how I ended up joining the gang. So yeah, we're gonna do that one next week. So y'all tune in for another wine and story time with my co-host, Big Jeezy, and my baby, Steffi Curry. And if nobody told y'all today, I'm going to tell you, I love Hardy. I love you. Bye.